And this is the thing, is you can't really put a face on it. You can't like put on a sheen of, like, you know this. If your company is in fact transforming, then the marketing campaign is trivial. It is obvious what you need to write. You really are transforming, and then over time, like for example, if you find yourself gaining 50 pounds or losing 50 pounds, like you don't really need to market that. Like it is really obvious over time as you show up at dinner parties and people say, "Oh, you've lost weight," or nothing. One of the two. So there are certain things that are self-evident, and transformation is self-evident. It becomes really obvious what it is that's happening over time. So it cannot be faked. In fact, it's really, really hard to fake it. And so if you do it genuinely, you actually don't even need to market it that well. It just kind of happens. And this is something that's really powerful. If the inner transformation occurs, it becomes its own kind of momentum. So at the center of transformation for companies and for teams is essentially this aspect of culture. And if someone is building a new team or they're building a new company, culture is the most fundamental thing to work on. So what is great culture and how does it manifest itself? Great culture manifests itself in a lot of different ways. When it happens explicitly. It manifests itself and it is like written down by people in order to be able to be something that's really excellent and something that is spoken of by people over and over and over again in the same way. One of the things that is most important in any culture these days is this idea of transparency. The issue with transparency, it is very important, but it is such a weird thing to say that is important to you, because at the same time as you're doing it, companies are inherently obscure. And so for transparency, the most important thing is that you need to drive it forward and continuously try to be more transparent every day and every week that you can. So there's this really funny thing that happened to me the other day. I emailed the Tesla guys, not literally the founders of Tesla, but I emailed my local Tesla guys in Montreal after I had heard the news that they were going to close the stores, because I was thinking, oh, there's this Model 3, like it's kind of a cool car and they reduced the price and it's all electric, maybe I should buy this car instead of a Volkswagen that I have. So I send it to Montreal sales, which is where it's one of the cities that I spend some time in, and I say, hey, I heard your showroom will be closing soon. How much longer will it be open for? I'd like to come in and do a test drive. And so this was all over the news like the prior day, like some of you may have seen it. And so he responds with, hi, Mr. Smith, can you tell me where you heard this from? I'd like to know if I have a job. For now, we're still open and have no news of it changing. And so you're more than welcome to come and explore the cars. When would you like to come in? And so you ever kind of have a conversation with my significant other? She was telling me an anecdote really similar to this. Oh, something happened to a friend of mine, but I don't know if you're allowed to tell them that I told you. By that time, I'd already texted them and said, hey, what happened to you? It was too late. And then the guy, his name is Frank, he responds and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay, I'm in the jackpot now. Like, what am I gonna do to escape this situation? So I do the same thing here. This literally happened, as you could see from the thing, it happened yesterday. And I respond with, haha, I think I must have misunderstood. That said, when can I come in for a test drive? Is this showroom owned by Tesla? Because I'm thinking, like, if it's owned by Tesla, like, they would know, Mr. Smith, all the showrooms and service centers are corporate Tesla owned by, so I'm like, this guy's gonna lose his job, Anyway, so this came out the next day. Tesla employees weren't notified of stores closing before public announcement. Like, how messed up is this? This is a huge mistake. This is catastrophic. And if you were to go to Tesla and you were to say, are you transparent? They would be like, yes, we're a startup. We're transparent, absolutely. You can hear everything. Our boss is on Twitter. And then this is what happens. So when I say culture is what happens, not what you say. This is what I mean. It's not what you say, it's what you do. It needs to be real.